Going live. Hey, welcome to West Coast Live. Tonight we have the Cal Poly crew. That's John Prince Offers Radio. We have Dr. Mark Zohns and Trevor Massetti. Woohoo! Hi, guys.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Oh, and Gish showed up. Look at that.
It's good. It's good to see you guys out there getting ready because I had to get up from a nap in order to participate.
The rough life, man. The rough life.
He's rubbing it in, boy.
Yeah, wow.
He just gets back from Hawaii, and now he's rubbing it in.
Oh yeah, I got jet lag. Jet lag.
I don't blame you. Well, tell us what's going on out there, Trevor.
We're getting everything set up. We are in the process of transforming this field into a tractor pull arena, pretty much. Setting all the bleachers, hoping to beat the rain.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's more coming, huh?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Track. Oh, could always use water, right?
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. How many spectators are you guys expecting?
As many as we can get. This is during the Cal Poly open house weekend, so we try to kind of pull people from going and looking around campus for a couple hours to come out here and come watch the show. So we have about 300 feet of bleachers on each side of the track, so there's plenty of seating. But
good deal. How cool.
Good. You guys expect a big turnout?
Yeah, hopefully.
Good.
It's usually a pretty good show, so
awesome.
We're looking forward to it.
Very good.
Sean had to take off. He had a wreck to go to.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's all right. So Trevor is all smoked out going to be there?
Absolutely. She's ready. Yeah.
And the EPA's coming after you, boy.
Yeah. Probably.
Is the whip all up and going?
Yeah, she'll be about ready to go. Yeah.
Good deal. Man, that's so awesome, that tractor now with the big Hemis on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Polly Thunder run because she's new.
Yeah, that's got two new motors too, huh?
Yep.
Oh really?
Are those the ones off the whip or are they different?
No, they're the same motors, just refreshed. Yeah.
Refresh. The Sullivans did those, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Right on. They do good work.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else you know of coming?
Hopefully Dr. Mark Zohn's right there.
Oh, that bailout guy?
That guy. Yeah.
That guy.
Right on.
Yeah. We're hoping so. No, hopefully we get a good mix of everything. Get to put on a well-versed show for
Right. Cool. Mark
got a couple other guys here with me from the team.
Hi guys. Introduce them. Oh, you froze.
Oh.
What the heck?
Oh.
Come on, Trevor. Hello.
Hello.
There you are.
There you go.
he is.
You froze up. Oh, you froze up again.
Internet must not be very good out in the middle of a field.
Yeah. So Mark, is Semper Fi coming?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nick's got it going, huh?
Yep.
Good deal.
Nice.
Good deal. There you are. You back?
We're back.
All right. Introduce these guys.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm Brad Haglin. I'm a 4th-year Bray major. This is my 4th year in the club.
Nice.
Always excited to be out here helping.
Good.
I'm Andrew Prater. I'm a 3rd-year ag science major, and I'm the bleachers and stairs coordinator for this old event here.
Right on.
Well, make sure they're facing the right way, huh?
Yeah.
We're gonna try and do that.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm
Very
Owen
cool.
Hildenbrand. I'm a 2nd-year ag systems management major, and I'm one of the barbecue chairs this year. So I'm in charge of putting on the pull-up
Attaboy.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Food. That's a
Job right there. Yep.
So you realize it's prerequisite that you must build a pulling vehicle after you graduate, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm telling them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In case you guys didn't know that, you signed that. Right?
Yeah,
That-
you signed it. It's in the fine print at the
Fine
bottom.
print, yeah.
Oh, they froze up. Dang it.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Trevor, go to high ground. You gotta go. Oh, froze up again. So, Mark, there you are. Are you back? You keep freezing up and leaving us. Move to a different location,
Yeah. Closer to the internet.
closer to Wi-Fi.
Those guys ought to go over there and grab one of those sets of steel bleachers, and that'll work as an antenna.
Right. There you go. There you go. So what's new with you this year, sir? Anything new or
Mark?
Mark?
You're
Yeah.
talking to me?
Yeah. Anything new with you?
Yeah, Trevor still goes up.
Full rigs.
I actually made some changes to that tractor, if you can believe that.
What?
Last year we had some issues with Semper Fi with the planetaries kind of coming apart, and the planetaries in that tractor are identical to the ones in my tractor, identical to Mustang Legacy, White Lightning. Those are all Eaton planetaries. And we tore up one of the spindles on one of the planet gears on Semper Fi. And so since the pull in Tulare, I tore mine down and worked with Tim Engler, and we've got the whole needle bearing set up now in planet gears.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward. I might have to just learn how to drive all over again. I don't know. We'll see, but it's a lot looser than it was before.
Oh, really?
You probably gained some horsepower with that.
Well, and I need every bit I can get. We all do.
Yeah, you can always have that.
Yeah.
At least 20 feet.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's plenty for me. I'm happy with that. Sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. That Poly Royal will be the first run with these needle bearings in there. So we'll see.
Awesome.
Nice.
Can't wait
Yeah.
to see some videos. Trevor, you're on mute, buddy. Oh, there you
Yeah,
are.
we relocated to
Nice.
see if
Yeah, good deal. He kept freezing up every time we asked a question. I hate that. Gish was that way too when he first got on here. He was freezing up all
They're
the-
never gonna let that go. Ever.
Nope.
I paid for better internet now, okay? Jeez.
Awesome. So anybody else have questions for the Cal Poly crew?
So when there you go. So when is the show again, Trevor?
it's April 13th at
April
1
13th.
p.m.
I don't want that.
Okay. Right on. Right on. Very good.
Where did Trevor go?
This is gonna be a train wreck this week.
There he is.
There we go.
Now I got John. I don't want that. There we go. I'm
Oh, that
gonna
looks good.
Chris is running the board. Here we go.
put me in charge of the board.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, he's the one that told me to do it, and then he's like, "Go ahead and just do this."
So, Trevor, on you say you got some new engines in the Cal Poly tractor. Anything else going on with any of the tractors or your truck? Anything new this year?
We kind of gave Poly Thunder a little makeover.
Nice.
So it's got fresh motors. We wrapped the fenders on it to just kind of update it a little bit, make it look different. We, redid all the fuel lines in black because it's cooler and it looks better.
Yep.
And a lot of little stuff
There
like
you
that.
go.
But we're excited to see it run. Mustang Legacy, just she's gonna keep on trucking and
Nice.
hopefully put down a good pass over here.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful with new motors in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And how about your truck?
Go ahead.
What was that?
I said, how about your truck? Anything special on that one, or just ready to go?
Well, the last time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
She's got a new turbo, new hair. But
Good.
Hair dryer.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. That's crazy. Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully this one lasts a little longer than 2 passes.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, that's an expensive 2 passes.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Chinese bearings in that sucker.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Should add 2 though. Put one on each side.
There you go.
Yeah. Run with smoking mats and those guys, huh?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
That'll probably after you graduate, you'll do that, right?
Yeah. It'll be a little while. Yeah.
A little while, yeah. Lots of money, man.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Like your dad's on here too.
Yeah.
That's no joke.
Nope.
That's awesome.
But I did get a ring, so I don't know.
Yeah, right?
It probably is not worth it, but it's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's right, Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a freaking joke today. No, I'm just kidding.
At least 4 guys show up to the truck pulls. They don't just have one on show.
Oh, man. Whew. Shots fired.
Hope you come out this year, bud. Can't wait to see you. Oh, boy.
Right on.
That's too funny. So, Mark got to go to Hawaii.
Yes.
Man, retirement's tough, huh?
Yeah, it's life is good being retired, You can't afford any of it, but it's the plan is to have a net balance of 0 when my wife and I are gone.
Perfect. With you, right?
We're right on target now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Heck yeah.
That's the end goal. Huh?
That's the end goal.
You leave with 0.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's why he's pulling, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was our goal as soon as we started pulling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't like money when you pull. That's for sure.
They say you start out a billionaire to become a millionaire, but I don't know. I started out with nothing and still got nothing.
Yeah. Definitely not a millionaire anymore, huh? Yeah.
Oh, Reeves. See Cal Poly. He's coming.
Nice.
Look out. Look out for that guy.
That means we really got to have the track dialed in because the big power is going to be here.
Big dogs are coming. Yeah.
They're coming. Yep. Yep. We get to travel with him back to Illinois too. So
yeah.
Oh, looking forward to that one. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah. You'll be there too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
Can't
Right
wait.
on. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Busting
Jason, you're going too, right?
Yep.
Cool.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool.
Give me co-pilot somebody going up there, I think.
Yeah. We're dumb enough to actually drive out there with him. So
Yeah. They're gonna fly into Reno and then go up. That's all. So
Uh-huh.
a little caravan going.
Cool.
Gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Long ways. I've never been that far, so it's gonna be
yeah.
for sure.
I've never been past Eastern Idaho. So yeah, as far as driving. So
Yeah.
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 The one time I went that far, we didn't get to pull, and we were supposed
I know. Oh,
to. So,
Oh no.
so big. Oh
but the
well.
road trip was fun. So
Yeah, of course.
Right.
More or less what it's about, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
And meet people that you've always watched, but you never seen in person. So it's
Yeah. Right.
cool.
Yeah. Well, and my biggest thing too is I can't wait to see how it's ran back there. How that type of caliber of pull is ran back there. I mean, you guys obviously do an amazing job, but I just want it'd be interesting to see how a big pull or all the classes and stuff that they're putting in and how that's ran back there. It'll be neat to see. And then, like Chris was saying, seeing the people that you've been watching on YouTube and on TV for years,
Right?
It's cool to brush, next to them and talk to them and look at their stuff up close. So
yeah,
that'd be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
The good stories to bring back, for when we go MLM pulling.
Yeah. Yep.
Can't wait.
Dr. Zohns had some cool pictures that he shared with me from some old Cal Poly.
I sent those to John, but now he's MIA, so I don't know.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Dang it.
But yeah, he doesn't show me how to do that one, so I would probably end up erasing everybody.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty hard to do. But
yeah.
Oh, so are those kids behind you there? They've been to pools yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Owen, this way. Owen and Brad have driven the tractors. Andrew has not yet, but he probably will this summer.
Nice.
So yeah, it's good. These
Cool.
are the guys that are always there.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
More experience, right? For when you build your own.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
So
Exactly.
how is it you guys determine on who gets to drive and who's driving that time? Is it participation in the class or how much you work on the vehicle and whatnot?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. It's kind of just whoever shows up to the work days and is putting in the effort to, or even if the way we break it up for this poll is we have I think it's 12 or 13 different committees that we have committee chairs for each of those. So like Andrew said, he's the bleacher chair, so he's in charge of ordering all the boards that we need to replace because they sit in the field for a year and then when it's time to go we need them. But
Right.
so even if somebody's just doing an exceptional job at their committee chair, then it's kind of a little reward to get to drive the tractor. So
Awesome.
big reward, yeah.
Well, yeah, that is cool. Yep.
It's
That's
neat.
neat. Very good.
Yeah, the coolest thing for me is being able to. I mean, obviously, I grew up in it, but
Right.
being able to, try and explain to somebody what it's going to be like when they make their first pass, and then they do it, and they forget everything when they do.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then then they realize, oh yeah, it's exactly what you said, or it was different. You didn't know what you were talking about,
Yep.
So
Yep.
And 90% of the time, you'll have to pee before you go.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't, when you get done, you don't have to go anymore.
You don't have to. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I don't think that after years and years of doing it, you still completely go blank sometimes.
Oh,
sit
yeah.
there and it started up for the first time and you're just like, okay, which switches do I hit again? It's so funny how your mind you get nervous and your mind just goes blank.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And we've talked about this before. If you ever, in my opinion, if you ever stop getting the butterflies and you stop getting nervous, then you might as well quit. It's not fun anymore.
Mark, you still get butterflies?
Oh, absolutely. With my tractor, it's the kind of thing where my biggest worry is whether the engine's going to fire or not. I think that's pretty universal. And so when that engine fires, I know I'm going to have a good time. That's all it's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Butterflies, they don't go away.
Nice.
Not yet.
Nope.
Yeah, Donnie, he said they got 2 fresh motors on that tractor.
Yeah.
Looking forward to see what it'll do.
Yeah, for sure.
Amen, Brad.
Cool. Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mark, tell us about the history of the Cal Poly pool.
Well, how much time do I have?
What time do you want, man?
45 minutes.
This thing.
It always gets worse.
Okay, here we go. And most of this is from what I saw as a youngster before I came to Cal Poly as a student. But my understanding is the very first tractor pull in California was at Poly Royal in 1972. And this whole idea came, of course, from the East Coast. They had been pulling out there for a number of years. But Don Nickel was a student in the ag engineering program. And he's the one who said, you know what, this is a great thing. We need to bring this to Cal Poly. And so in 1972, they had just stock tractors, most of them out of the Cal Poly farm shop. And the student built a big, long skid pan, half-inch plate, 8 feet wide, 16 feet long. And it was what they referred to as the step-on sled. Right.
Yeah.
So with the stock tractors that would have a top speed of 5 miles an hour in low gear, if that, you know, they'd go down the track and people lined up along the track would step onto the skid pan and it would get heavier and heavier. And of course, whoever took it the furthest before they ran out of power or traction would win, right? And for heavier classes, they'd park an orchard tractor on the skid pan and then add people to it as the tractor would go down the track.
That's so cool.
That worked okay for stock tractors. And you know, then the whole modified tractor thing came into play, and one of the first modifieds, if not the first modified in California, was built in Shop 7 there at Cal Poly by mechanized ag students. His name was Ted Link, and the name of that tractor was Horse with No Name.
Wow.
If you're old like I am, you know that there was a song.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so then it's like, okay, this step-on skid pan isn't going to be safe anymore. It ain't gonna work.
Kidding.
And so the first weight transfer machine was built as a senior project at Cal Poly in 1973. So that was the next year. George Pierce was the name of the student who did that as his senior project. Of course, there were a bunch of other students and faculty who helped with the construction of that first sled. And John, did those pictures ever come through at all?
No, they didn't, but I did find a picture on Cal Poly's page.
Okay.
That I was going to have you explain because it's an old piece of equipment. It looks like something Chris would have used to build the highways during Donner Party.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. That's just the roller that we've used over the years to prep the track, and they haven't needed to use that since the pole's been out in that field because it makes it a little too tight. But years ago, the pole used to be up on the old airstrip, which now is a baseball stadium, softball stadium, and soccer fields. And back then, we needed to tighten up the dirt for the track, and so that was an old Army surplus roller that came in, and we painted it up and put a logo there on the side, and that's what that's all about. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, so first modified tractors in 73, and then the thing it just exploded. I had a picture of I think it was Turlock, an aerial photo of the tractor pull in Turlock of 1973-74, and it was incredible. Standing room only. Just people hanging out all over the place to see a tractor pull. And then the lion's share of the tractors were stock ones, but there were modifieds that came along. And, you look at the sled, that first sled, it went through a series of modifications. When I was a student, I actually worked with Gary Weisenberger. Gary was a big part of this thing from the get-go.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone understands that Gary was a big part of this whole thing. I was just a snotty-nosed freshman at Cal Poly. And
there it is. Yep.
Okay, that's Gary's sled that he built. In fact, I helped him do some of the work on that sled in the late 80s, and then it actually didn't get finished until its debut run at Poly Royal, which was 1997. But
that's after Trucker's Trouble, right?
Right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was going to go back through the list here. In fact, I wrote them down. So the Cal Poly's first sled was built in 1973. The next sled in California was one that Dan Coelho built, and that was primarily for the trucks. Okay, and about the same time, this was in 1976, the first mini sled was built by Gary plus a couple of other students. Gary was teaching at that time. A couple of students, Steve Cooksey and Ken Ulm. I know these guys because I idolized these guys as a youngster. You know, I was just out of high school and I wanted to be just like these guys. You know, they were true. Yeah. And so the name of that sled was Clodhopper. And so it was specifically for the mini modified tractors. And I was there at Poly Royal the first time one of the modified minis pulled it, and it was John Shipman. The first vehicle John had was a mini modified.
Yeah.
And the sled was too light. And he drug it all the way down to the end of the track, and the weight box hit the front and sheared a bunch of bolts. And I think that was about it for that pull.
Yeah.
So that was built in 76. And then in 78, Gary Weisenberger and Ben Tulloch built Trucker's Trouble. Okay. That was a four-wheel drive sled specifically for the trucks.
Yeah, that was a nice sled, yeah.
1981, I helped Gary. He built the second mini sled, which is the one that he retired a few years ago. Some students in my class were responsible for putting the self-propulsion system on it and so on. Then let's see, I guess after the mini sled, the next one would have been Gary's big sled, Tough Dragon, which made its debut in 97. So the whole sled thing at Cal Poly goes back to the beginning. And
what was the big one that's around the same time as Trucker's Trouble?
That's Cal Poly sled. Okay. And John, yeah, I got a picture of that one too, but that's all right. Now, so the Cal Poly team, the Cal Poly tractor pull team wasn't a tractor team at that time. It was a sled team. Oh. And that very first year, when they started having these pulls at the county fairs, Cal Poly was responsible for doing all of the work at those fairs.
Oh, wow.
From the weigh-in, tech inspection, track prep, flagging, all of that stuff. And at the end of that year, which would have been the 72, 73, the department head at the time, actually he was a faculty member, Ed Carnegie. He was the key advisor to this whole thing back then. He got a meeting with all of the pullers and said, "Look, you guys need to help us do this," you know. And so that was the birth of the Pacific Tractor Pullers Association. And so the pullers actually took responsibility for doing all this prep work and so on. Oh. And so technically Cal Poly didn't become a true tractor pull team until 1999. And that's when 3 students in my design class, they came to me in my office one day, and the students were, and you guys are familiar with ag engineering, Bray 421 or 422, where they work on design projects. 3 students came to me in my office and they said, "What are we going to do next year in the class?" And I said, "Hell, I don't know. I won't worry about that till the beginning of fall quarter." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "Well, we want to build a tractor." "What kind of tractor?" "A pull tractor." And I said, "You guys are crazy." I said, how's this going to happen? Well, I said, "How are you going to finance it?" "Well, we'll get sponsors." And I'm thinking, oh, that ain't going to happen. So I told Miles Anderson, one of the 3 students, I said, "I tell you what, if you can guarantee me that you can get this tractor completely funded with money from off campus, I will let you 3 do that as your project in the class." And so they left my office, and I felt pretty comfortable that this wasn't going to happen. The next day, Miles Anderson, very soft-spoken individual, but when Miles says something, you better be listening. He came into my office and he says, I got a sponsor and we don't need any others. And I go, really?
One day.
He says, my dad gave me the credit card and said, go to it.
Right.
No way.
They have a rather sizable logging operation at that time, both in Fort Bragg and over in Jackson. And so it's like, all right, I got to stand by my word.
Yeah.
So the three students plus Gary and I spent quite a few hours doing a lot of machine work.
Sure.
And so that was Mustang Fever. And, you know, Gary and I talked about what kind of power supply, what kind of power plant we need to put on this tractor. And we kind of knew that Allison was the cheapest horsepower and pretty reliable horsepower. And so we started calling some of the pullers from the late 70s and early 80s. And Frank Del Papa from Bakersfield helped us out. And so we built that tractor. That was 1999, made its debut at that year was the first polyroyal pull in that field that those guys are standing in right now.
Nice.
And now that's Mustang Legacy there. That Mustang Legacy came about when we retired Mustang Fever. Mustang Legacy still has the same engine and clutch that was on Mustang Fever, but everything else is updated. Now, Poly Thunder came about in 2004. There's Poly Thunder.
Yep.
There was a gentleman from Idaho, Albert Wada, was a big potato grower in Idaho. And back in the 70s, he was on the fair board for his county fair. And he came to California because he'd heard about this tractor pull thing, and they were interested in bringing more people to the special events at their county fairs. So he came to California to see what was going on in California. And he saw this Cal Poly tractor pull team and sled going all over the state, helping put on these shows. He thought, that's what we need to do in Idaho. So Albert Wada started tractor pulling in Idaho. He built a twin engine tractor. The name of that tractor was Rocky Mountain Thunder. And in 2004, Albert decided, I need to donate that tractor. He donated it to Cal Poly.
Wow.
We went through and did a complete rebuild from the ground up. We had to add the roll cage and got Joe Bogosian to build the engines for us. And so Poly Thunder was born basically in about 2006, I would say, somewhere in there.
Nice.
Mustang Legacy came about it made its debut pass in either late 17 or early 18. And so, you know, and this thing is, it's contagious, right?
A little bit.
I got the pleasure of driving Mustang Fever one time.
Wow.
And I thought I earned the right. Trevor talked about
Yeah, one time.
I thought I earned the right, but one time, and then it's like, all right, I got to build my own. So I built my own. And then my buddy, Nick Guriel, he's the owner of Semper Fi.
Yeah.
I let him take my tractor to a pull. It was back during West Coast Nationals where we had a 5-pull series. And the first pull was right smack dab in the middle of the week. And there's no way I could miss classes to go to a tractor pull. So I told Nick, hey, you take my tractor and go to this pull. So he and my old partner, Leo, they took the tractor to Stockton on a Tuesday night. And when Nick drove my tractor, apparently the steering wheel came off halfway down the track. And I told him, you don't need that stupid thing.
Need a steering wheel,
Tractor, good. Yeah.
So Nick came home just extremely excited about this whole thing. He says, I want to be partners in your tractor. And I said, no, you don't. you need to have your own tractor.
Yeah.
So the frame on Semper Fi was a senior project at Cal Poly. That was built by Brian Evans. And as soon as the frame was done, it came out to my shop. And then you ask my wife, I spent the next 2 years
Oh no.
working on that tractor.
Oh.
And so that's how Nick got into this whole thing.
Nice.
And,
Nice.
yeah, it snowballs, you know. It's
Right.
so there's a rich history with both truck and tractor pulling at Cal Poly.
Yeah,
It's
for
really
sure.
rooted into what those guys are doing right there. And what's, I guess I should let Trevor talk about the real purpose for the Poly Royal tractor pull. What is that, Trevor?
Yeah, so the main reason that we do all this is to raise money for scholarships for people in the club. So like I was saying, you know, the people who put in the work and are, you know, making the large time commitment to be a committee chair, and along with everybody else who's not a committee chair who just shows up, and you know, all the people who are out here working right now in between classes and you know, giving up their time to come do this. At the end of the year, they're going to get a good scholarship to, you know, help for their education. So that's, you know, all the donations that we get, all the ticket sales, all the concession money, everything goes back to the students. So
wow, that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Very cool.
Are you students learning anything during this process?
I'd say so. Learn how to drive a reach lift.
Learn how to drive a reach lift.
That's awesome.
Don't be an operator, man. I'm telling you. It'll tear your back up.
I've been sitting on it.
They're learning budgets real quick.
Yeah.
When I was a faculty member at Cal Poly, I really encourage the students to get involved in these types of things. I've been quoted as saying to the students, especially the freshmen, don't let your classes get in the way of your education. People kind of look at me like, what the hell are you saying? And it's the other stuff that builds character. Yeah. It's the other stuff that gives true experience. For you look at what they're doing there for open house, and there is a bunch of planning that goes into putting this thing on.
Yeah.
And there are things that are on the critical path. You guys will learn about that stuff when you take 403 or one of those other classes. Anyway, whatever. And that's the kind of stuff that sets you aside from another student who's book smart.
Right. Yeah.
The common sense side of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Put it all together.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty neat to be able to see, like, you know, these people. I mean, we get to know each other throughout the year, but like a lot of people, even if they don't come to meetings throughout the year, they show up for this work day. And, you know, it's people who have never met each other that are giving each other hand signals and, you know, showing how to, you know, guiding them in with the forklift or whatever. And it's just, everybody works together really well. And it's pretty awesome to see the group of brains think together and make it happen, you know.
Well, your group there with one pool, with one organization is no different than like all of us going to the pools throughout the season with the different promoters and stuff like that. We've all gotten, you know, great friends out of it and great help and people, you know, you guys have that just right there in your little core.
Yeah, that is neat. Yeah.
Well, Donnie and Lloyd Reed want to donate $500.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie, that's awesome. Great job. Yeah, no, that's neat. And the history behind it is cool. And for it to start with sleds, that's even more interesting. You know, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I love it.
That really shows, you know, it started from the basement and worked its way up to where it is now.
Right. Right.
The other thing I was going to say is, Mark, is it true that all those sleds are still intact at the college?
Okay. Cal Poly's original sled is still parked in a field there on campus. It's still intact. You could put the drive chain on that thing and make it work. Probably have to grease up a few bearings and so on. The first mini sled that Gary and his students built just got scrapped out here about a year ago. It got cut up for scrap. Trucker's Trouble is still in existence. I wish Gary was in on this thing tonight. He'd tell you it might still be over in Porterville. And then the more recent mini sled is parked somewhere here in San Luis Obispo. So
I think it's
Sheridan was still alive.
That's a neat thing. You know, it'd be kind of a showpiece for the club to, you know, maybe be able to have the progression shown at one time. Maybe one
on display like at your show. You know, if you were able
That would be cool. Yeah.
We actually did talk about that this year about pulling, because there's a mini sled here and the big sled, like Zohns was saying. So we were talking about putting it up on the corner for a display or something. But
yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
There's a lot of history. There's a lot of history, like Dr. Zohns was saying. You know, a lot of the stuff started here entirely on the West Coast, was between Cal Poly and the Central Valley.
Yeah,
and those are two main hubs for pulling in California.
Yeah. I'm proud to say I got to pull all those sleds except the first mini. I got to pull the second mini in not Hollister, Hanford for Max Tackle. They had it down there when I was in Country Mod.
Yeah, he strapped it to his shoulders and he ran with it.
Yeah. I pulled down that truck right out the gate. Yep.
I can't remember if I've ever pulled Trucker's Trouble if I was too young before he built the new one, but I know I've pulled his big one before.
Yeah.
And I always wondered how the heck did he not get pelted with rocks and dirt with no windshield on that truck?
Actually, I tell you, there is a windshield on that sled, but it telescopes kind of out of the way. And I think Gary got tired of trying to put that thing up at every pull, and so he just quit messing with it.
God,
he couldn't see through it after a while. It was so
exactly.
Yeah.
Sun come out, you couldn't see nothing.
But I had, he didn't break his face. I mean,
that sled, a lot of people don't realize how many different gear combinations are in that sled. In fact,
I heard there's a lot.
I had to come up with a spreadsheet for him that has it. There's over 400 different gear combinations.
Holy!
Because there's a 2-speed axle on the ground, and it goes up through a 13-speed and another 4-speed, and then he's got a power divider on there that he can engage and disengage. It's just a mess of different gears, and so I set up a spreadsheet for him so that he could see, hey, I want the weight box to top out 25 feet sooner. Okay, so he could look in the column and he could see the next number, and he could see exactly which transmission he'd have to shift, and he'd be good to go.
That's funny.
Wow. That sled is just pretty. It was off the hook, really.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Is it still around too?
It is. That one is. I think Gary's got it stored in a buddy's building, or it might be outside here in San Luis. I'm pretty sure it's in San Luis. Yeah.
Yeah, our club tried to get him to sell that to the club, and he wouldn't do it.
That's his baby.
Yeah.
That's his baby. Yeah. And that thing's been all over the West Coast.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
It was in Oregon. It was in Nevada. It was. It's been around.
Yep.
Chris, do you go back to the time when you got to go to Honolulu?
I was around then, but I did not get to go. I was an in pro mod then.
Okay.
They didn't send countries over the river or over the lake.
Over the river.
Most
In the river wherever you were young.
Yes, over the pond.
Cal Poly sled got shipped to Aloha Stadium, and then all the tractors and trucks
Yeah.
were all put in. I think they were put in containers and sent over there.
Yep.
And it's not only California but across the sea.
It was something else because I guess they had to make sure every speck of dirt was off of them things. They had to dry.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then when they got done pulling over there, they had to get every speck of dirt off of them and make them dry again to come. And it was muddy, I guess. It rained and stuff. So, it was a lot of work for them to do that. Yeah. Wasn't it Borba that did that?
I think that was a super pull with John Borba.
Yeah, with John Borba, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because we found out, we were talking with Denny Tucker this past weekend, and Denny was talking about how Borba was trying to get them all to go to Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy. That'd be awesome.
Wow. Well, and that pull, man, everybody keeps bringing that up. That was quite a deal to go over there to Hawaii. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. And there was a guy over there that actually had a truck too. He had a truck over here in California, and he was a puller over there. So I think that's how they got started.
Donnie wants to know if Gary still has the beautiful truck to pull his sled.
I can answer that question. That Peterbilt that Donnie's referring to originally was a 2-axle, and then my brother and I helped him put the third axle underneath it. Actually, it was a whole new rear end setup. But Gary, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be saying this or not. Gary sold both the Peterbilt and the Murray low bed to a good friend of his, Ben Tullock. Ben Tullock was Gary's partner in Trucker's Trouble. You might remember Ben.
Yep.
And Gary sold the truck and the low bed to Ben Tullock. And Ben has a ranch down in San Diego area.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. So that's where it went.
So he kept it in the family anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Good deal. That's awesome.
Both of Ben's daughters went through the Cal Poly program, and I think Lindsay was actually the president of the Tractor Pull Club when she was a student. Allison was heavily involved too when she was a student. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, there's a lot of pullers we pull with currently that all been through the program.
Yep.
Linefelders, Birchke, all of them have all been through the Cal Poly doors.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. That's neat. Yep.
Yep.
I remember, whenever I was in JC, I used to help with Justin with Godfather, and I still remember the story. I didn't get to go down there that weekend, but he went down there and Bob let Justin take Godfather down there to Poly Royal, and he made the front wheels square because he bounced the front end so bad on the day.
Yep.
There's probably still dirt flying from the sky. That tractor was awesome.
It's too bad we couldn't look at those pictures, because I had a picture of Bob Gialetti in 1976 running the Godfather, and it was an injected V8 simple frame, and the fun thing about looking at these old pictures is there was no safety equipment, no help.
No.
Bob used to drive that tractor with a cigar sticking out of his mouth.
I thought it was pretty funny to see those headers that you were saying, the rule they stuck up above the driver's head or something.
Yeah, back in those days, the rules were for exhaust pipes, they had to exit above the driver's head. And so you had these tractors that had pipes that were 3 feet long off of the heads.
In case they dropped a valve, it wouldn't hit the driver. See?
Right.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think I have one of those pictures. Hold on.
That's awesome.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's why the rules plus or minus 10 degrees, because you don't want to aim it anywhere.
Right.
That's right.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see the pictures like Mailing and all them, they just running around with a t-shirt and pants on and running those multi-engine tractors down the track, no problem. You know,
Thunder still does.
yeah.
I remember riding on Cal Poly sled when Ron would pull with a 4-engine tractor, and Ron is just a great guy. That guy is just
He
Yeah,
sure
we
is.
had him on here. He's a great.
barrel of fun, man. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yep. We had them guys on here. Him and
Boy, him and Dennis Marson, yeah.
person. Yeah.
Boy, and the stories and the stories and the stories.
They kept going for. We were there for a good hour and 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it was a long one. That was a good one. Yeah.
Good stories for sure. Right on. So question for Trevor first, and then we'll go down the line behind you guys there. So if you could drive any pulling vehicle, whose would it be and where?
Oof. I mean, mine would probably be the whip anywhere because, you know, it's the whip, but probably GSI because that's the biggest, baddest tractable on the West Coast.
Uncle Kevin out, huh?
Yeah.
Get Uncle Kev out.
What about you guys?
Kevin, go shoot t-shirts somewhere while you're driving that.
Yeah, I got a couple extra t-shirts because of that guy Kenning, so you know it's good.
What about the next guy? I don't remember all the names, Trevor. So ask them.
All right. I gotta say I do love Steve's tractor, so if I could hop in either one of those things, I'd be pretty happy. I don't care where I'm driving. Hopefully not Nevada. Those tracks are a little rough.
Hey, now. Whatever.
I mean, personally, I'm a little bit afraid of the whip. That was my initial thought, but it's a little frightening for me. But I would like to drive Trevor's truck all smoked out at GSI.
Oh, dang.
Hey.
I try and keep the turbo intact, too.
Might be a little competition there pretty soon.
Right. That's awesome.
One more.
So right now I'm next in line to drive Poly Thunder, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think that would be a fun tractor to drive.
Cool. Just keep it straight. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Remember, you don't need a steering wheel.
Nope.
It's for rookies.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Here's one picture of Godfather with Manny Moe and Jack on it. Remember that, Mr. Zohns used to call him Manny Moe and Jack.
Yes. Okay. See, now that was not his first 3-engine tractor. He had
that's the second one.
He had one that had all 3 engines hooked crank to crank to crank.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if you recall his license plate that he had on that trailer. His license plate was blown 3X.
Yep, blown 3 times.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good picture right there. That's
He's
awesome.
got a fire suit and a helmet on. I mean, that's safety right there.
Yeah, well, that was
Now this picture I pulled off a Believe's page here, and this shows the safety.
There it is. There we go. Yep.
Oh, no.
I wish I could show you. I've got one here with Clarence Correa in 1976. And that was the first year for the minis, and there were no helmets, there were no seat belts, no roll cages, none of that stuff.
Wow.
Well, I remember, was it Strode that had that tea time or whatever, and he'd drive that that bucket, and he'd drive that, I think, with just a lap belt, and a t-shirt and jeans, and his ball cap on or whatever. You know, I mean, it is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And he'd stand, and that's back when the two-wheelers would stand up. I mean, they were freaking pulling wheelies, man.
Wow.
And just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Kimmy wants to know if there's any plans for the students to build more tractors.
We had talked about for a little while possibly doing an electric tractor. because we think, I mean, obviously we love like gasoline and, you know, methanol motors, but I think it'd be pretty cool to be the first ones to do electric, you know, being that it's Cal Poly and the history that we have with pulling.
Right.
We had talked about like revitalizing the old Mustang Fever frame because it's just sitting in the field right now. But just, you know, school kind of gets in the way of those kind of things sometimes. So maybe someday, but that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, that could be a project for one of them other guys when they get.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Be quiet, you have to put loud system on it or something.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see, like, on a tractor, especially, what it would sound like. I guess you would just hear the tires. And,
Yeah.
Rocks flying.
Yeah. Rocks flying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it definitely has some tire speed, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Be almost like line filters where you can hear the tires going.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Code 3.
Go.
I wasn't going to go there, but, you know, whenever I was driving back from the fire call, you know, I was hearing you guys talking about, you know, you forget things and everything else. You know, you and Gish are notorious for forgetting all the time.
Yeah.
Gish forgets how to hold on to the throttle, and Chris just forgets that Kimmy's a better driver.
I haven't forgot. I just
yeah.
You notice she hasn't drove in a while. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, yeah, exactly.
She'll be back in there before long, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Well, that's great.
Love it.
So yeah, so Trevor, you're going to kick Uncle Kevo out of the whip, huh?
I mean, maybe someday we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll let him get it figured out first, and then I'll.
There you go.
Who's going to drive that tractor at Cal Poly? That's what I want to know.
The whip?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would assume Uncle Kevin. Not sure.
He might come up lame, you know. You never know. Oh, he's listening. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, his hand is swollen and his fingers are broken. That's too bad. He won't be able to drive tonight.
Trevor goes out there, hey, Uncle Kevin, eat these brownies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Meanwhile, Trevor's already sitting in the seat waiting to go.
Yeah. Possession's 9/10 of law, you know.
Right? Yep. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
You got to get Kevin to come back to Illinois, too.
Yeah.
That
would be awesome.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, that would be something. Yeah.
That'd be
I
cool.
think
That's the word for that.
Yeah. We'll let him bring his t-shirt cannon on the plane, though.
We'll have to disassemble it.
Yep, exactly.
You know, actually, right after GSI, or when we were at the farm show, the World Ag Expo, they had in the back of a Hummer or something, they had a Gatling gun t-shirt cannon.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Group chat with Uncle Kevin and my dad and James, and I said, we need this. And then shortly after, I don't know if you guys remember my buddy Furman, he was the one shooting the t-shirts, but he sent it in another group chat with all of us, and then, you know, said, oh, we need this. So
Sure, Kevin's already trying to figure out how to get a hold of that.
Well, the shop right next to your grandpa's shop has Hummers in that building.
That is true.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's also got tanks too.
There you go.
Put Kevin in a tank. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Killdozer.
Yeah.
We'd see Kevin and Schultz on freaking NBC News in November.
What a mess. What a mess.
Shooting t-shirts at each other with these cannons.
Yeah.
Jason is actually coming out here for this pool.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Very good.
Look at him
Cool.
go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to find somebody that's got a sand rail. and take them down to Oceana Dunes and go give them a heck of a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have sand over there.
No.
Right. Right.
They have snow. It's
Yeah,
almost
lots of snow. Yeah.
You know, that reminds me of a story. Walter Britsky, Jared's father. Some of you guys remember Walter, right? And he still comes to some of the pulls once in a while. They used to take their pull tractor back when it had 2 engines, and they'd take it to the sand drags down there in San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how well it did, but
I have stories about that.
Anyway.
I bet that was fun.
Yeah.
Dig 2
there's lots of stories with the older tractors and stuff like that. Just like the story with Bob, whenever the insurance adjuster came out to see the tractor that was on the insurance for the dairy.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, that's not a working tractor for the dairy." He goes, "The heck it is." He hooked it up to an L disc and made a pass with it. It worked.
Yep. That's awesome.
You know, since we're telling stories, if I can tell this one more. It was Bob Gioletti's brother-in-law. God, now I can't think of his name right now. Phil Souza. He was a puller. He had a twin 396 tractor, and the name of the tractor was Wife's Gripe. Okay. And so he was coming down to Poly Royal. This would have been 78, 79, somewhere in that neighborhood. And his truck broke down just outside of Paso Robles. All right. What he did was he unloaded his tractor, brought the tractor up in front, and he towed the truck and trailer to town with his tractor.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome.
He had enough gas.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
That's good.
That happened to Connor Steve's one time. We were pulling in Los Banos. He blew the drive line. He would unload Smoke and Max and then pull the truck that was pulling the gooseneck in the stock class. Well, when he pulled the truck in the stock class, he blew the drive line and blew a bunch of stuff up and broke it, and put Smoke and Max still had the hitch in it. So he put the gooseneck on Smoke and Max, put the everyday truck on the trailer, and drove back to Ripon. It's about Hillmar when I saw him pulled off the side of the road.
Jeez.
He did that coming to Reno one year too.
Well, Larry's done it with Rough Idle.
Yeah.
Larry had to pull Young Guns with Rough Idle, if I remember correctly, because they broke down or did something.
Oh, wow.
That's funny.
You know, it happens.
Yep.
You know, and to go back a little bit more, Mr. Zohns will remember it, and I'm sure Chris will. You know, you always had the Gioletti Alvarez war for many, many years, and supposedly Nightmare is coming back out. When? Don't know, but they're currently working on it, and Bob's helping.
Nice.
I've heard the same thing. Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Because
I remember when I was a student, a lot of the times I'd end up being the flagger at the polls, and I was flagging in Turlock, and Bob Giuletti and Manuel Alvarez were neck and neck in the points race, and Bob went out of bounds.
Oh,
and of course, I had to flag him and let the announcer know that he's disqualified because he went out of bounds. And I needed a police escort to get out of that.
Oh man, I bet. Oh no,
I bet.
Man, I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's fun. I remember those guys. They were neat people, just neat people. I remember Mike Alvarez, Manuel's son, and my understanding is the grandson is considering running that tractor. And Bob, I've heard a story about Bob helping with it simply because he wanted to see what Manuel and Mike were doing with that tractor that made it do so well.
Right.
That's what I've heard. I think it's great. It's just great.
Yeah.
That tractor is sort of like a time capsule because when it left Turlock that night after the incident that they had, it never came out in the light of day since.
Yeah.
And that was the last time it seen it. And Manuel said that tractor will never come out of the barn. And there were so many people tried buying it, and he held true to his word.
Yeah.
Interesting. No.
So, but it would be neat to see that history. There's a lot of historical vehicles all starting to come back out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's neat to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right on, guys.
Very good, gentlemen.
Did you get Mr. Zohns with the question, Chris?
Oh, again? I thought we did.
Did he answer your question? I know Trevor and the guys did.
No, I didn't ask Mark. So, Mark, you could drive anybody's vehicle, pulling vehicle, whose and where would it be?
Any vehicle across the United States.
All right. Well, then it's got to be Uncle Sam.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have to be at Cal Poly.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Get him out here.
Go big or go home,
Yeah, absolutely.
With all 5 motors.
Yes, sir.
That would be a fun time.
Yes, it would.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Oh, let me put it up here.
Yep, the show. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
April 13th.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Cal Poly Truck and Tractor Pull.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come out, if you go to our Instagram, which is Cal Poly Tractor Pull, the link to the tickets is there. You can purchase them ahead of time, or there's tickets at the gate. I think it's $15 for adults and $5 for kids. So not money for a long, good show.
Yeah, that ain't bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then make sure everybody come on out because, like you said, all that goes back to the kids. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
Yep.
All goes back to scholarships. That's a great thing.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I just wish more schools would start doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yep.
For sure.
Give us more pools to go to. Imagine
And if you can't make it this year, try for next year or make a donation to the Cal Poly Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks again for Donnie and Larry Reed for the $500.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
Thank you guys for having us.
You bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we were in Tulare for the farm show, and I haven't seen my dad in a little while. I've been at school, and so we talked for a little bit, and then later on through the day, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I invited a bunch of people to come to your house for an after party." So I guess we're having that now.
All right.
Perfect. Nice. That's awesome.
There is a may or may not be a full service icy machine there, and a bar, table,
icy machine.
That
is awesome.
Very cool.
Rated.
Yep.
You don't have classes, right? The next day. It'd be good.
No. Actually, the next day at 7 a.m.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Really have to be there. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Oh, dig. Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys. We just got to stick on here for a couple minutes and talk about another upcoming event, and hopefully we can get a lot of people down there to help support.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds good. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mr. Zohns.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Be careful out there, kids.
Yeah.
What are you talking about now?
Well, we need to bring it up this Saturday.
Oh, yeah. The Mid-Valley Spectacular in Turlock
Fairgrounds.
Yep. Show starts at 6, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it starts at 6. Competitors need to be there before 4. I think from noon to 4 or noon to 3:30 or something like that, if I read right earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's I forgot what the price was at the gate, but Standalone event at Turlock Fairgrounds. Mid Valley Spectacular, L&L Productions putting it on. It's usually a pretty good event. The weather looks like it's going to be good. So,
Cool.
Yep. Get down there.
9 to 3:30. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
9 to 3:30.
Cool.
So get down there early. Go to L&L's Facebook page. They got all the information on there. And check it out.
Very good. Okay.
So,
Yep.
Okay.
I guess. Thanks, Brian, for that text message. But anyways, hey, good show again, and we'll play it out. Stand by.